Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Sammy of Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back. Another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 100.
I don't know what was supposed to happen, but
Episode 100.
here, yeah.
You hear it?
Where's all the streamers?
I'll put them in the effect. I'll put that in post.
Yeah. Episode 100.
Here
It took 2 years to get here, but we finally made it. So, I met a few weeks ago. Said, we should do a podcast on the Kiss solo albums. And I said, we actually did that on the first one. And then it got me thinking, because we were talking about the 100th episode, like what we should do. And I was thinking, you know what? When we did the first one, we really didn't know what the fuck we were doing. And it wound up being like a 15-minute podcast, and you were just kind of like fumbled through it. And, so I figured we could do like a redo on it.
Everybody's doing reboots and redos and remakes,
so
it's alternative
remake.
Universes.
It's an alternative universe.
Yes.
Well, alternative universe, I'd be the Kiss fan and you would hate them.
Right.
So we're going to do a redo of the first episode, which is but we're going to do it differently because we didn't start the album battle till maybe like a few months after this. So basically what we're doing, we got the 4 Kiss solo records. We're going to pick the best track.
Fatal 4-way.
Yeah, fatal 4-way. That's right. 4-way dance here. So we're going to vote on the best track 1, best track 2, so on and so forth. So I have I got a whole thing mapped out here. And I got like a whole score sheet.
Nice. Nice. So we could go to the tallies after, and we can see what's up. Okay, so this one's going to be pretty good. So we're going to start off right here, and I'm going to run down what's on the first track. We're going to track versus track. So that's the way we're going to do this one. Okay, so for Paul, Tonight You Belong to Me. Ace, Rip It Out. Gene, Radioactive. Peter, I'm Gonna Love You. You can only pick one.
Why are you laughing?
It's just the way he's saying the names in the song titles.
Okay.
Now the rule is
right after he said Peter.
The rule is you can only pick one of these songs. That's it. So the way we're doing this, you got to pick one. Ahmed, what's the one you go to? And you can tell us why if you want to.
Rip It Out, Ace. That's one of my favorite Ace songs. For 2 reasons. It's got a little drum solo in it, and it's got one of my favorite guitar solos in it. And I like fast songs by nature anyway. So
All right, so Ahmed's going with Rip It Out. Damo.
It's a tough one. It's definitely between Ace and Paul, but I like Paul's opening track a little bit better. Tonight You Belong to Me. And I think it's that cool acoustic intro and just how it kicks in. It's got some balls to it. Ace's song just comes at you just like, whoa, like where the fuck did this come from? But I like Paul's just a little bit more.
Okay. Mike D.
I mean, I always liked this song, and it was tough between this and Ace, but I went with the Radioactive by Gene.
that intro, isn't it?
It's the intro.
Yeah. It's the whole thing, man. It's just his voice. It's it's just like, I know it's a slow mover song, but it's got this cool thing going on with it.
Yeah. For me, this was the toughest one out of all of them. This was definitely the toughest one because I like every one of these songs except for the Peter song for the first track. Man, they're all so tough. Radioactive has an awesome beginning, which I was scared of shitless, when I was a kid of it. Rip It Out is classic. Tonight You Belong to Me is such a good put together song. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Paul. I'm gonna go Tonight You Belong to Me. It's probably because the intro. It's really the intro. It's so good. Toughest one though. Definitely my toughest pick. because all three of those four are great. Okay, Dame, you taking score here?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ahmed.
Well, I was just gonna say with Tonight You Belong to Me. I always sing Sure Know Something in that chorus for some reason. I feel like that goes with it.
Yeah, I could hear that. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, hey,
Never thought about that.
Speaking of Tonight You Belong to Me, I don't know if anybody else noticed, unless it was just in my head. If you notice, does he kind of bookend that with Goodbye? It's like the same riff floating in Goodbye a little bit near the end or something. For some reason, I thought I heard something that was familiar to Tonight You Belong to Me. I'm like, maybe he bookended that somehow.
I don't know. I never noticed that.
Yeah, take a listen later on and see it.
I don't see that.
Yeah, I got to hear it back. Last night I heard it, I'm like, wait a minute, I never noticed that before. It's got something going on that kind of has that, Tonight You Belong to Me part. It's not blatant. It's just, I think it's slight. All right, guys. So we're going to move on to the track 2. We have Paul moving on. Move on. Ace, Speeding Back to My Baby. Gene, Burning Up with Fever. Peter, You Matter to Me. Ahmed, what's the one you're going to go with?
Ace, Speeding Back to My Baby. I love that little backwards guitar solo part. That was one of those things where I had the vinyl and I would keep putting the needle back just so I could hear that part over and over again.
Yeah. Yep. Demo.
Man, this is actually a little tough for me. It's actually between Peter and Ace on this one, but I think I'm going with Speed It Back to My Baby too. It's got a fun chorus. So You Matter to Me kind of reminds me of like something that would be on like a really bad horror movie from 1978, like some like party scene. We're all like smoking weed or something.
So you're going with Ace. That's 2 aces so far. Mike D.
I went with Gene again. Burning Up with Fever.
Burning Up with Fever. For the record, all the Gene stuff is really good during the verses. The chorus is where it gets a little weird. It's maybe overdone, overblown, too many backup singers. Because his voice, man, his voice is just awesome. But
that's a good riff.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. So for my pick on the second track it was really between two. It was between Speeding Back to My Baby and You Matter to Me. And just for the yacht rock feel of it, I wanted to pick at least one Peter. This is probably my favorite Peter off the record. So I went with Peter Criss. I went with You Matter to Me.
And that was his single too.
Yeah. Very disco-ish, right? Yeah. Okay, so Dame, you're taking score, right? I'm going to keep up when you got the scores going. Okay.
Yep, I got it.
All right, we're going to track 3. Paul, Ain't Quite Right. Ace, Snowblind. Gene, See You Tonight. Peter, Tossing and Turning. Ahmed.
Snowblind, Ace. That's another one of my favorite Ace guitar solos.
Yeah.
And I like the way it slows down at the end. The way it, kind of does the Black Diamond thing almost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Fucking great riff, yeah. Yep. Davo?
Man. I'm going with See You Tonight. I think that's such a great song.
It is a good song
from Gene.
It's got that Beatles feel in there, right?
Yeah, very Beatlesque, man. It's actually like I hate to use the word beautiful, but it actually is like kind of like a beautiful, pretty song.
Yeah, he wanted to get a couple of the Beatles in on that, but they declined it. So
he got Beatlemania.
Yeah.
He got a big league by the Beatles.
Big league them. Yeah. Big time.
So Mike D, what you got?
I went with this. This is probably one of my favorite. Even though it's a solo album, it's probably one of my favorite Kiss songs. Man, I went with Snowblind by Ace. Just a great riff in that.
Yeah.
No brainer to me. See You Tonight's pretty good, but I'm going with Snowblind. I'm going with that. Ace wins it for me on that one. That's just such a great riff. Man,
that song's wicked.
And listen to all 4 of these records. Ace is booming. Ace is probably the best produced, I think. I mean, when you put it on, there's a
Eddie Kramer.
Yeah, there's a bigger bang.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is the best sounding record.
It's the best sounding one.
Sure.
All right, so we are on track 4. Paul, wouldn't you like to know me? Ace, Ozone, Gene, Tunnel of Love. Peter, Don't You Let Me Down. What you got, Ahmed?
See, now this is a hard one for me. You know what? I'm gonna pick Paul on this one because I love Wouldn't You Like to Know Me. But and also with all of these, I like all of them. It's not that I don't like the other ones. It's just like I said, faster songs are more where it's at for me. But this Paul song has a really cool riff in it. I like this one. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Paul on this one.
Okay, Ahmed goes with Paul. Damo.
Yeah, I'm going with that one too. Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? I don't know if it was influenced by them or not, but it always reminded me of like a Cheap Trick song.
I could hear that, yeah.
I could always picture them, Cheap Trick, doing that. So I don't know if probably has nothing to do
It's
with
funny,
it,
dude, because I see Cheap Trick as a weak Kiss.
Yeah.
Not saying they're bad. They're good.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they made. Did they make it into the Rock the whole thing before Kiss though?
I don't know.
I think they did.
They were like a year or two after, I think.
Oh, were they after?
Yeah. That was. I think it was pretty close. It was Kiss was in, and then maybe I think Cheap Trick was like definitely like a year or two right.
I don't know much of them really. I know like a handful of songs. About
me
it.
too. Really, yeah, me too. So who'd you go with, Dame?
I went with Paul. What Do You Like to Know Me? That's actually one of my favorite songs out of all the solo records.
Okay.
Like
How about you, Mike D?
I went with Ace with the Ozone. You know, it's funny. It's like a lot of them I wanted to go with Paul, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is, and then he starts singing. I'm like, that just did it for me right there.
Wait, which one you went with?
I went
with Ozone.
Ozone. And I looked it up real quick. Cheap Trick went in 2016. Kiss was in 2014.
Okay.
There you go. 2 years. Yep.
Yeah.
For me, for track 4 was, it was tough between 2 for me. And the Peter song, that Don't Let Me Down, is a really, really good song for what it is. It's not exactly what I wanted to hear with the Kiss Soul thing, but it's really a good song. Tunnel of Love I thought was okay. Ozone is really cool. I mean, it don't even bother me that he follows the guitar line and the melody. It's just really, really cool. But Wouldn't You Like to Know Me,
cool.
I think Wouldn't You Like to Know Me was definitely the best put together song out of them 4. So yeah, I'm going with Paul on that one. I'm going to go with Paul. But that was a tough one. You're right, Ahmed. That was a pretty tough one. Okay, guys. Track number 5. Paul, Take Me Away. Take Me Away. Ace, What's on Your Mind? Gene, True Confessions. Peter, That's the Kind of Sugar Papa Likes. What you got, Ahmed?
I'm going Ace. What's on Your Mind? Although this is a hard one because I like the Paul song. And the Peters, That's the Kind of Sugar Pop. That's actually one of my favorite Peter songs, period.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the True Confessions on the Gene, that's one of those moments where it came to the part of the album and I kind of just looked at it. He's got a couple of those moments where I'm just like, you're looking at the cover and you're listening to it and you're just like, this is different.
Yeah.
Damo,
yeah, it's weird. I picked Paul's Take Me Away. That's Carmine Apiece is like my favorite drummer, and he's all over that track, man. He's some killer drumming on that one.
Dame's going with Paul. Mike D.
I went with Kind of Sugar Papa Likes.
Ooh,
I'm Peter.
not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah. Guess what?
And it's the only Peter on my list. So.
Guess what, man? Peter makes another one for me. That's the Kind of Sugar Papa Likes. That's what I'm picking.
You picked that too?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the Kind of Sugar Papa Likes. Yeah. Great song.
Even though I didn't pick it, I'm glad to see that one is getting.
That's the one. Yeah.
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 On a lot of those Kiss sites, a lot of people, trash that song. I'm like, what? That's out of all
it's a fun song.
Yeah, it's one of the more Kiss sounding Peter songs on his album.
Yeah.
I think.
And even
Right.
like all the solo stuff, there's no denying Peter's voice is fucking awesome on everything. It just
Mhm.
is.
That's his greatest instrument, I think.
He's
It's
got
just
some
like
kind of
voice.
like I listened to the last soundboard that they just put out. I guess it was like around the Alive 2 era, the one they just put out. And dude, Rock and Roll All Night, his voice on that.
Oh, he's right in there. Yeah.
Oh, but
All
he's
night
like
long.
shaking. He's shaking the no. It's not just no. He's shaking it a little bit where it's got that soul. He sounds great on that. Yeah, I think he's got the best rock and roll. Real Gene's the coolest voice, but he's got that really cool rock and roll
This is
sound.
more soulful.
That
Soulful,
raspy,
yeah.
soulful.
Yeah.
I would say he would have the more soulful sounding voice, and Paul had the more rocking one. I'm upset that when he did his solo tour, that he didn't actually lead sing the band, like not even play the drums, was just out front. I
Yeah.
thought for sure he would have tried to be out front,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
trying to be behind the drums. I would have like preferred it if he did like a 15 song set and he did like 10 songs up front and maybe
That's what Ringo does.
5 behind the kit for
Yeah.
like a couple classic Kiss songs.
Yeah.
Yep.
When Ringo does his solo tour, he pretty much does the same thing.
Like if Peter, Criss, and the Roots went on tour, that would be
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move on to track 6, and if this goes any way than I think it's going to go, I'll be really surprised. Track 6, Paul, It's All Right, Ace, New York Groove, Gene, Living in Sin, Peter, Easy Thing. What do you got, Ahmed?
I'm going Paul, It's All Right on this one.
Wow.
New York Groove is probably the weakest song on that Ace's solo album to me. Sorry. It's one, it's like still one of those songs that when I mean I like it live, but on the album, it's one of those songs that even when I play it as many times as I've heard that album, it kind of still sounds like a new song to me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yep. How about you, Damo?
This might be the toughest round for me, actually, this one. Because I really do like the Gene song, Living in Sin, and that's the one with Cher in it.
At the Holiday Inn,
She's-
they're living in sin.
She's like the fan that calls up on the phone. and the Peter song, Easy Thing, is actually like a really, really good song. It's like something like John Lennon would sing. Like sounds like a John Lennon 70s song or something. But and a New York Groove, man, that's like It's All Right is is like one of my favorite songs on that Paul Stanley record. So I got to go with that.
Okay, you're going with Paul. Mike D.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one, but this is a song like, especially like when I was younger, like I went to this one. Now I probably like a little other songs better on the album, but I had to go with New York Groove, even though it's a cover too. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
I'm with Mike. I'm surprised when we went 50-50 here. I'm going New York Groove. It's just, I mean, that's just such a big
Damn.
song. So yeah, we went 50-50 on
Alright.
that one. Wow.
We need a tiebreaker.
Yeah. I have to
Yeah.
go to the tape. Phew.
Tail to tape.
Tail of the tape. Okay, so track 7, Paul, Hold Me, Touch Me. Ace, I'm in Need of Love. Gene, Always Near You. Peter, Rock Me Baby. What do you got, Ahmed?
Ace, I'm gonna need another. I like that one. I like the delay effect on it, and it has a cool guitar solo too.
Yep. Damo.
Man, Hold Me, Touch Me, Paul's song. I absolutely hate that song. It's
It's the worst song, probably.
No. I like that song. I like the guitar solo in it. I do.
It's so
What's the
wimpy.
full title of that? Because it's just so cheesy sounding.
Yeah.
Even
Touch
before
Me
you hear it.
I know.
It is. It's not one of
Hold Me, Love Me Forever or something like that, is it?
You mean the
What's
Motorhead
the-
song?
No, the whole
What's
title for the
what's
Paul
in the
song.
parentheses of it? There's something else.
Think of me together as one. Something like that.
Oh, is that what? Wow.
When we're apart or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, but
Think of me when we're apart. That's what it is.
the Gene song I like, Always Near You. So it's actually between that one and Ace, but I got to go with Ace. I'm in Need of Love. It's a good song.
Yep. Mike D.
I went with Ace also.
Well, it looks like Ace is getting a clean sweep here. I went with Ace
Wow.
also. Yep. Ace clean sweep, right? On that one.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, track 8, Paul, Love and Change, Ace, Wiped Out, Gene, Man of a Thousand Faces, Peter, Kiss the Girl Goodbye. What you got, Ahmed?
I'm going with Ace. Wiped Out. Yeah.
Going with Wiped Out. How about you, Damo?
Man.
Wait. Can I go back?
Sure.
Sorry.
Let's rewind.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna change it to Paul Love and Chains.
Okay.
I really
Change. That's a good one.
Okay, Love and Change. Got it.
Is that what you're going with, Dane?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with, man. It's a shame, Man of a Thousand Faces. That's a cool title, but it's such a cheesy song, man. It's awful.
which makes me wonder what it would have sounded like on a Kiss album because it was supposed to be on one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wiped Out's a really good song too.
It is,
but
it's hard. That's a hard one.
I'm giving it to Love and Change. I actually really started to like that one recently.
Like D.
I went Man with a Thousand Faces, and I wanted to go Wiped Out, but I don't know, Man with a Thousand Faces. I just think it's got that cool, like kind of like slowness to it.
Yeah,
like, and it's kind of like Gene stuff's usually faster, but I don't know. I think it's pretty damn cool.
That's a good one.
Guess what? I'm going Man of a Thousand Faces also. I like that one. I don't know if it's because if I can remember the European version of Kiss Meets the Fan in the Park, they got some of the solo songs in it. I kind of like it there. so yeah. I'm going with Gene for that one too. Okay, guys, moving on. Track number 9, which is going to be our last track for the thing, even though Gene's got 11 tracks, Peter's got 10. We're going to go 9, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do for a mixtape. All right, guys, we're going to track 9 for the end of the battle here between the 4. Still got 2 track 10s we're going to do, and track 11's eliminated with Gene with the Wish Upon a Star. So track 9, Paul, Goodbye. Ace, Fractured Mirror. Gene, Mr. Make Believe. Peter, Hooked on Rock and Roll. What you got, Ahmed?
I'm going with Ace, Fractured Mirror. That's one of my favorite instrumentals of all time.
Okay, there you go. Damo.
I'm actually going with Peter, Hooked on Rock and Roll.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's the best track 9.
Wow. How about that? How about you, Mike D?
I went with Gene again with Mr. Make Believe.
Okay. Oh, man. Guess what? I think it's a 4-way split here because I'm going with Paul. Goodbye. How about that?
Damn.
Another odd one. I didn't think I was going to go there. Cool. Okay, so now track 10. There's only 2 track 10s here, and we got this really gives Gene and Peter a little edge here. You know, they get a little edge here.
Just both have their worst albums.
Yeah. Yep. So this is the edge for them to give them a little shot here. So we have Gene, See You in My Dreams. Peter, Criss, I Can't Stop the Rain. What you got, Ahmed?
You know what? I'm gonna go give this one to Peter because I like the rock and roll over See You in Your Dreams better. I didn't like the remake.
Right.
And I like that Peter song anyway. So
Damo.
I do like the See You in My Dreams, that one, better than the Rock and Roll Over version. Actually, it's weird that he wanted to record that again, but I'm going with Peter. Hooked on not Hooked on Rock and Roll. I Can't Stop the Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good soft rock song.
Mike
on
D.
Kiss FM.
I went with Gene. See You in Your Dreams.
All right, and this might be another split here. I'm going to go with Peter. I Can't Stop the Rain. I think it's a good ballad, good slowy song. Damo, what's our tally here? Who wins the album battle?
Ace has the most picks, right? But we have 2 ties in each round. So Ace and it's really between Ace and Peter. Ace and Paul.
Yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
I don't know how we should do the tiebreaker. Should we review them again?
I think if Ace has the most, then it's Ace.
Okay, so for track 6, New York Groove, Mike and Bert voted. Me and Ahmed voted It's All Right from Paul. They both got 2 votes. That's for track 6. So if I'm thinking of this as like an album that's going to have hits and shit like that, New York Groove was a hit. I probably would change my vote to New York Groove. Just for the hell of it.
Yeah. And it's I would think Ace probably squeaks it out ahead of Paul, and Paul right behind Ace.
So I'll change my vote and change that tiebreaker.
Okay.
Right there.
And what was the other tiebreaker?
And then the other one was track 8. Okay, we had me and Ahmed voted Love in Chains from Paul's record, and you and Mike voted Man of a Thousand Faces on Gene's record.
Okay, I could probably switch mine to Love in Chains.
All right, because I wasn't budging on that one.
Yeah, I could switch mine to Love in Chains. If I made an album, that would probably be what I would pick. So what's the final tallies?
Okay, so would be, and then we all had we had another issue right here. Track 9. We all voted for different songs here. So that was a 4-way tie.
Okay. And what were the track 9 was what? Fractured Mirror, Seen Your Dreams, Hooked on Rock and Roll, and Goodbye, right?
Fractured Mirror, Mr. Make
Believe. Mr. Make Believe.
Goodbye, and Hooked on Rock and Roll.
I can be persuaded to go Gene.
See, I was going to say I could go with Ace because I was like, wow, that's a really cool song. It's a shame it's an instrumental.
You know what? Let's go with Ace.
Okay. We can do that.
That should make it now where Ace should be 1.
All right. So okay, so how it works. Oh shit, this is fucked up. Oh, how is that?
We have an upset here.
Okay, yeah. Okay, the way I'm looking at this would never fly in real life. Because Ace ends up with 5 songs on the record. Peter ends up with 2 songs on the record. Paul ends up with 3 songs on the record, and Gene has none.
Right.
Wow.
So ours would be Ace, Paul, Peter,
right.
Gene. That would be the order of the solo records.
Yeah. So the track listing here, it would be if we chose it that way, the album would open up with Paul, Tonight You Belong to Me. Track 2 goes to Ace, Speeding Back to My Baby. Track 3, Ace, Snowblind. Track 4 goes to Paul, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? Track 5 goes to Peter. That's the kind of sugar Papa likes. Track 6 goes to Ace, New York Groove. Track 7 goes to Ace, I'm in Need of Love. Track 8 goes to Paul, Love in Chains. Track 9, you got Fractured Mirror. And track 10, I Can't Stop the Rain, closes out the record.
Okay, so I have an idea here. So let's give it 12 songs. We're putting together a vinyl record, 12-song vinyl record, 6 songs on each side. And yeah, that's it. And we'll pick which ones we want to pick. We'll just go in around, like we'll just pick in around. Track A, I'm gonna start off with track 1 on side A. I would open up the record with Tonight You Belong to Me from Paul Stanley. Ahmed, what would you pick for track 2?
Burning Up with Fever.
Nice. We go with a Gene song. Dane, track 3, what would you pick?
For track 3, Okay, wait. Are we just picking all over the place, or are we actually
All
doing
over the
that?
place. Yeah, we're just putting together
Okay,
our record.
Okay, so I could put anything in there.
Anything you want.
I think wouldn't you like to know me would be good there, like early in the record.
Okay. Mike D, track 4. What would you pick?
Let's go with Snowblind.
Okay. We go with Snowblind for track 4. Track 5's on me. And that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Man of a Thousand Faces. Gene, how about that one?
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Ahmed, you're gonna close out the side A. What would you close out side A with?
I'm giving that to Peter. It's kind of sugar papa like.
Yeah, it does. That's good. That's good. Damo, you're opening up side B. What do you open up side B with?
Okay, it's got to be Rip It Out.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's an opener.
I would say Radioactive, but that's just me.
that's what I was gonna say.
We have to
That's
end the
what I was
record.
gonna
We have to
say.
end the record with Radioactive.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
Damo, what are you going with? Do you get pressured?
No, I'm sticking with Rip It Out. I think that's a great opener.
All right, Damo's going to go with Rip It Out. Mike D, track 2.
Let's throw an instrumental in there. Let's go with Fracture.
Okay.
Fracture Mirror, is it Fracture?
Fracture Mirror.
Fracture Mirror, yeah.
Track 3. New York Groove.
Oh, for real?
Man, that's some disappointment.
You could have made that a bonus track.
That could be. You know what? Yeah, the Sell More record. I'll take it back. The Sell More records. That'll be the bonus track. That'll be the Amazon extra track or something. Okay, you guys got me on that.
For
right.
real?
I'll go with Snowblind.
I like it though, but
Snowblind.
He already said that, didn't he?
Yeah. That's on side 1 already.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
The 4th song on side 1.
Okay. I'm hoping somebody picks Radioactive somewhere in here, so I'm not going to pick that. You know what? After the instrumental, Fractured Mirror, I'm going to go Radioactive.
Yeah, okay, I feel that. I know what you're doing.
Yeah. That'll segue it right in. Okay.
Yeah, because it fades out with the it goes back into acoustic again, and then you open up with the ha ha ha.
Yeah. If you're playing live, Ace does his little thing, it fades out, and we come back in with the ha ha ha. Yeah, Radioactive. It's in there. Ahmed, what do you for?
It would have been better opening up the second side, though. I'm saying.
Me too.
Track 4
at Damo. Track 4, Ahmed, what you got?
I'll do Love and Chains.
Yeah, that works. Damo, track 5.
I'm thinking this in my head. You got to slow it down, and I'm gonna put "See You Tonight" in there.
Okay, we go with a Gene track. Mike D, to close out the record.
I ain't closing out shit on this. I'm giving this to one of you Kiss fans out there.
I want to turn the mic over to
closer.
Ahmed.
The best closer.
Ahmed, what do you close the record out with?
Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's it. Paul gets it with Goodbye. And if you order now, the bonus track is New York Groove.
On a 45.
On the 40, yeah, a 45. What would be the B-side to the New York Groove?
It would be etched. Etched with the 4 faces.
That's not a bad idea. Well, he said it'll just be etched. You just get a picture of the 4 faces on the back.
You matter to me.
Yeah. You matter to me would be the. Yeah, that would be like the disco club single.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna
Neither
put this
one
all
of
together.
them wrote those songs.
Yeah.
Right. So so that would be the bonus edition of the vinyl with the 45. You get New York Groove on one side.
45.
You matter to me on the rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I'll put it together. A little album cover.
The little New York Studio 54 45.
Yeah. That goes good. So yeah, just to talk about the solo albums a little bit. I remember grabbing the solo albums and they gave you, remember the bag? They gave you the bag with the Kiss.
White bag, yeah, with
Yeah,
the
the
4
white
solo
bag.
albums.
Yes.
I
And
don't. I remember seeing pictures of it later on, but I don't.
right.
I
I
was
remember
21
the
years
bag.
old when it came out.
Yeah, I remember the bag. And it's crazy because
So when you purchased it, they would give you just that bag. That's how they
yeah,
did it.
yeah, I remember getting the bag with the record.
To make you want to get
The rest of the
yeah,
three.
all of them. Yeah.
Okay, so
Huh.
I don't know who remembers what. I think if I can remember the first, because I didn't get them all at once. The first solo record I bought, of course, for me was Gene. How about you, Ahmed? Who was the first solo record you purchased?
Actually, it was Paul. A friend of mine had Aces, and he played the shit out of that. That's the one that I really wanted, but I ended up going with Paul because I never heard that one before, and I knew of the Ace one, so I just went with Paul. And another friend of mine had the Gene one, but when he played the songs off the album, I'm just like, this music doesn't match the cover. I was expecting something completely different. And the same thing with Peters. It was like a complete nosedive. Like, I view the Kiss solo albums the same way I do the first 4 Halloween movies. Aces is like the 78 one for me. Paul's is like Halloween 2. Peters is like Season of the Witch. Gene's is like Halloween Part 4.
That's great. That's great.
But what I think they should have done is put out the first like double platinum. It should have been like each guy should have got a side.
Like the icons that they put out years after, sort of.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great. I love when they did that.
Because if you open up double platinum, those etched faces are actually the solo cover faces.
Yeah, so that came out after. Yeah.
Well, actually, it was right before.
Before platinum came out first, right?
Yeah, it was in April of 78, and the solo albums came in September of 78.
I guess at that point, Ace didn't really have enough songs, right? To do like a full side. I mean, unless you would throw in like Parasite and
that's the part where I would have completely scrapped. Because if you were to give each guy like 10 songs a side, that way everybody couldn't complain. Like everybody had full 10 songs on, side.
A lot.
That's a lot for a record, though.
But see, that would have been the double platinum cool thing, like back then. Like they would have been changing history, which each guy having their own side. No other band has ever did that. Like that would have been like kind of the novelty double platinum type thing. I think that would have been cool.
Or if it was a record, it'd probably been like 5 songs each side or something like that.
But I mean, just going extreme with 10, I would have taken the songs from Alive 2. Used the bullshit Gene songs that were on the solo album and the songs that were on Alive 2, and you give Ace the 10 with Rocket Ride.
Damo, what was the first one you purchased?
First one I got was Peter's solo record, because honestly, I was so young at the time, I didn't know what a solo record was, what a solo album was.
Right.
So I kept on hearing about the Kiss solo albums. So I figured they're playing solos on them. So I picked up Peter's because I thought it was like an album full of drum solos that he named. He gave, this drum solo is called Hooked on Rock and Roll. This drum solo is called Easy Thing. So I thought it was
played at the same time. It's like one song.
Yeah. So I just thought it was like an album of
drum
solos. So I was starting to play drums at the time, so I picked up that one, and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this? Is not what I expected." Then the second one I got was Gene's, just because of the album cover, and that was like, "Whoa, this is not what I expected."
Strike 2,
man. And then I think the third one I got was Paul's, and I liked that one. And then Ace, I got it the last, and that was the best.
Right. Yeah. Mike D, what was the first solo record you got?
I kind of picked up all four of them at the same time. Like somebody I knew was selling them like really cheap. I think I picked them up for like $1 a piece.
Wow.
So you can't pass on that.
No. So Mike got all four. But I mean, the album covers are so iconic. I mean, I till this day I still love those four pictures and the painting. And Ahmed, you knew the guy's name, right? That did it?
Enrico.
He had some
Enrico.
or something.
Yeah, Ronaldo's something.
Enrico Caruso or
yeah,
some
yeah,
shit.
something like that. Something like that. I forget, but it was something like that.
Yeah, I mean, what a great job. Is that the only thing they hired him for? Was that, as far as we know?
Yeah, because that guy Dennis Warlock, they worked with him. He recommended him because he was the guy that came up with the Halo idea for
which
them.
is brilliant.
It was gonna just be a white, like when they do the background, it was just gonna be like a white light behind them.
Right.
They decided to give it color to just, enhance the album cover.
That I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was a brilliant move. It really does. Because even if you look at the Peter, the colors pop. I mean, the green pops, the red pops, the purple. I thought the hues over the hair or whatever was really, really good. And then the album covers, man.
Yeah, those album covers are great.
I mean, really, if you look at, even though I got my favorite, Kiss album covers, we did that whole special with that. But as far as for me, the solo albums are probably the best. I mean, they look great. Great painting.
Almost realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the artist was Geraldo Carugati.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have them on vinyl. You have to. They appreciate it too.
Yeah.
I still got them.
Big picture. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
With the posters and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And trippy ass posters. Pretty great.
Yeah, they're cool. Yeah, very like psychedelic looking.
Yeah.
And they all
put
fit
it
together.
That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
See, that was the cool part about being a Kiss fan. Like you could have fun with it.
Yeah, you got a lot of
Love
cool
gun
stuff.
came with the little love gun.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was some more stuff, I think, right?
Well, if you look at the first record, I don't think the first record came with anything. Neither did the second.
Nothing until Rock and Roll Over. No, I'm sorry. Alive.
Well, Alive came with the booklet, right?
Yeah.
That came with a booklet. And then you would have your nonsense stuff like your fill out forms to order stuff online, not online, but order stuff through mail. Like you would like Double Platinum. I knew it came with a couple things. But the cool thing was after that they start putting stuff in records like posters and stuff like that. Like, okay, so after the solo records was was Unmasked? Dynasty. Dynasty came with an awesome poster. I love that poster. And then you had Unmasked came with that really cool poster. With
all the little Where's Waldo stuff in it.
Yeah, your guy does an episode on YouTube that breaks down all this crazy stuff from that poster. And I don't know what's true and what's not, but it sounds pretty good, all the little conspiracies with Peter winking like he's gone and the X over him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool little factors in there.
Paul holding up 3 fingers.
Right.
There's only 3 of them in the band at that time.
I mean, I would love to think that they were actually thinking of all that shit when they put it in there.
That's
that's
some Illuminati shit.
Yeah. Like, where it's almost like when they talk to Beatles, so, it's Paul really did that other documentary was like, is Paul really dead or whatever? And you hear all these things and even if it's not real, you're thinking, you're going, yeah, maybe they are holding.
They make some pretty good cases.
Make some great cases, man. They make some great cases, but all that stuff is stuff you would hear back in the day with album covers. Like no matter who it was, if you looked at like Elton John, Captain Fantasco, whatever that album was, there were so many little things in the album cover that you could go, "Oh, this is a symbol for this, and this means it," because it's so big. And even if there wasn't nothing there, you can really come up with some crazy shit in your head, which is pretty.
And now bands don't do that. Just Disney does it for their box art.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, one of the last bands I remember doing something like that was Marilyn Manson when they did Antichrist Superstar. they were using the number 3 for a lot of things. So if you look, there was 3 here, 3 there, but it was like, there's 3 people, 3 figures. Like there was all different weird shit. And you might see it more than I know. Maybe I'm just not looking for it anymore. But all that little cool minutia was put in that stuff, which made it more than just music. It made it kind of special. You picked up a Kiss record, it was special, It was definitely special. I wish they did more shit.
I remember Shout at the Devil had an order form in it. But that was the only thing after that I really remember that had anything inside of it.
Like anything special. Of course, Alice Cooper had his early stuff, had some, or the late 70s stuff when everybody, I guess, was doing the poster thing and all. He had some cool stuff. A lot of the Cooper stuff, like what's the Cooper record with him inside with the Asylum, where it opens up, it looks like that.
From the inside.
From the inside. That's really, you look at the back, it looks like they're all running out. Yeah, that stuff's cool. That's like all that kind of neat stuff. Yeah.
He had a lot of cool album covers.
But nowadays, I don't know. I mean, the Ghost stuff looks pretty good right now. But I don't know. But they will be going back, I think, to some of that art form just because vinyl's getting
vinyls
so
are
big.
yeah.
Vinyl's definitely getting pretty big right now. And I don't know if they'll go back to the poster thing, but that was fun, dude. When you were a kid, man. Do you remember?
Yo, we should do that.
What's that?
Put posters in the albums. Like we should make a vinyl and do that.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. But do you remember going to the store when you were a kid? At least I know me and Ahmed are pretty close in age. Mike's a little younger than us, and Damien's a little younger than Mike, I believe. So I don't know if Dame's going to remember it so much, but before Metal Edge and stuff like that, they used to have these poster books where like you would buy, like it would say Kiss on it or Duran Duran or whatever. And you would have to buy 2 of them because there'd be a poster on each side. There'd be a big poster. There'd be one picture on one side, one picture on the other. And you're like, oh man, I got to pick what poster I'm going to hang up,
Who am I gonna?
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Who am I going to hang up?
Yeah. So you would buy
sometimes it was easy because you'd have this really cool picture of Ace with his guitar smoking, and then you'd have this other side with Paul and he's licking his fingers or doing something.
We got double Ace on that.
Yeah, that's an easy choice.
Yeah. But dude, there were so many cool things like that back in the day. I don't want to sound like an old fogey, but there was just so much. Unless it's out there now, just because we're older.
Do you remember? Do you remember the mini movie posters? Like they came in a pack like a baseball card. They were probably like that big, and then you folded them out, and they were like about like that.
No,
I do. I remember. Yeah, I do. I do.
There was like maybe like Jaws. I think they had like Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I can't remember some like maybe like Close Encounters. Like it was around that area, like 1983, 84, something like that.
Yeah, all that stuff was coming out then. I remember those.
I remember the record gum, Choom Bops.
I remember them.
Yeah.
Yes. I had the Unmasked. Remember the Unmasked?
I might have a sleeve roll
around my house. That was the first time I actually saw Unmasked was on one of those. That's how
a little cool ass cardboard fucking.
Yeah.
Open it up
album.
Yeah, I still remember that, the little pink bubble gum. And
do you remember that, Mike?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they were
the
pretty
gum
cool.
tastes like Hubba Bubba or like bubble tape. Bubble tape.
Yeah.
That's what it
was.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. There was so much cool shit back in the day, man. I'm telling you. I wish I would have saved some of that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like for school, they would give you folders.
Yes, I remember.
I had they used to have them their album covers, and it had like half a record.
Yes, I remember.
Yes, I remember that.
Dude, I had Twisted Sister,
I
Billy
had a
Idol,
Thriller
Rat.
one of those.
Yeah,
I had a Thriller one.
I had a Thriller one. I had oh man, there was so many of them.
Do you have Vanilla Ice?
Shout out to the Devil.
Shoved in the Trapper Keeper.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when they did the copybooks? I remember they had Rush moving pictures. There was a bunch of different copybooks. They just had the album cover copybook.
I don't remember that.
I remember the Kiss pencils. They were like white pencils with just
I actually have some of those.
Do you really? Wow.
Yeah.
There was so much cool shit back then, man. That like I said, if it's out there now, I don't know with this new stuff. I don't know if they got the fucking weird shit
anywhere. And the Kiss, I don't know if you remember, but the puffy stickers.
I remember them.
Yeah, those things were cool.
Yeah.
I did have the color forms, and I had the rubby things.
Yep.
whatever them rub things
Rub and
were.
play set.
Rub and play. Did they ever? They had to put out a Shrinky Dink set, I'm sure too.
No, they
had to
didn't.
be.
The
Really?
closest to that was the rub and play set.
Okay.
And the puff stickers kind of look like that, but they didn't have the Shrinky Dinks. They had the Viewmaster though. I had the Viewmaster.
I remember the Viewmaster.
Yeah.
Dude, when we were kids, the Viewmaster was big. When we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3D.
Yeah.
Yep. That and the doll and the record player and the makeup kit, like they had all like it. Like
Yeah.
what I'm saying, it was.
I had the white guitar, the plastic white guitar. I
Yep.
had that.
I had it.
And the van. The
Yep.
van was great. And the weird thing was like, you're because my dad would put together like these models for me, whatever. And I remember getting the Kiss van, but I remember thinking like, why is it a van?
Yeah.
Like, I just couldn't
Yeah.
figure that out.
Yep.
But yeah. I totally remember the van. Like they were like fucking. There's so much cool shit they put out.
Yeah.
But you know what's
They had a
big
lot of shit,
again?
but a lot of different people had a lot
They
of shit.
did.
Not
but-
then.
But not back
Not
then.
then.
Yeah.
Like Kiss was the only other one music wise that I know who had anything like that. Was well, yeah, but I mean, aside from them, was Donnie and Marie.
Yeah, the
Really?
Osmonds.
Wow.
Yeah, shit like that. Yeah.
It's funny you actually mentioned that. 'Cause I was like a little kid. I had a Donnie and Marie microphone.
Yeah, see, my
Nice.
neighbor had the Donnie and Marie guitar, and I would come over with the Kiss guitar, like better than Donnie and Marie.
I don't remember the Donnie Marie guitar and the microphone. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of like probably the same company that did the Kiss guitar.
Just different picture on it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different sticker on
Do you
there.
remember the Kiss radio? The little box
Yep.
radio? I remember that.
Yeah,
Fucking
Yep.
dude, so wild, man. So wild. I'll tell you what, the biggest disappointment for me was when they did the video game thing, where like I was waiting for this great video game. It was only like PC, and I was like, oh, it wasn't.
I
right.
don't
And then
remember
the
that.
pinball. Then they
Oh,
actually came
later
out
on.
a pinball video game later on. Yeah, this was way later, like near reunion time.
Like in
I
the-
think I remember the pinball.
Well, the original
the
pinball, yeah,
machine.
that was a big item.
Bobby's
back
got
in the day.
that.
Bobby's got that down his basement. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's got the pinball machine there.
That's pretty
Nice.
cool.
He's got both of them.
he's got the
Oh,
new
he
one
did
too.
he
The
get
new
the
one?
other one. I didn't know he got the other one.
Yeah, he had both of them there.
Wow.
What was the original? The one with the red and white on the sides, right? With like the red and white flame looking things. Was that the original?
Yeah, it had the solo album faces and the Alive 2 looking
Yeah.
stage on the front.
But we were kids, man. That pinball machine, you seen that in the place, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I would stare at that thing forever.
Yeah.
I suck at pinball, but I'm just going to stare.
And Journey was another band. Journey had their own like big, not besides the Atari game, they actually had a
Yeah.
big video game. It was totally
Yeah, I
different than
remember
the
that.
Atari game. Remember that?
Mhm.
And each individual member you had to go through. Like one was like this maze. One was like, I guess,
It was
Steve
hard.
Smith. It was hard. It was way too hard. Steve Smith had this thing where you had to jump on these drum things. It was really, really hard. Like
What did Ross Valerie do?
I don't know what he did. Yeah, I have no clue. He just stood there. Maybe
That
Jonathan
was
Cain.
what album was that for? I could see it. It didn't
Frontiers?
have the
Frontiers, probably. Yeah.
Oh, Escape was the Atari.
Escape was the Atari one. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, I know we were talking about Kiss, but going on like say something like Journey, I think people really forget how big friggin' Journey was. Journey was huge.
Oh, they're huge. Yeah,
Huge.
they're a stadium.
Mhm.
You know?
Absolutely. They were so big. Like they were all over
Yeah.
between. That's when, we probably talked about this before. That's when you had soundtrack movies movies with soundtracks came out. And it wasn't like, okay, we're going to write for this soundtrack and this is going to be for this soundtrack. It was where they took songs that they were pushing and were already done, like songs that were on like Fast Times at Ridgemont High and stuff like that, where they became staples. Because you're growing up, you remember fucking all the songs in the movies. They were real songs. They weren't written for the movie, pretty much.
Mhm.
They were songs, and that really helped movies, I think, back in the day, and helped you like the song, and it just worked.
Well, they
together.
do it now, though.
They do, but it's not like it. I hate sounding an old fogey.
They're
It's
more
not
like
it was,
playlists now. Yeah.
Well, look at what happened with Metallica, Master of Puppets. I mean, I know that's a TV show,
Right.
but
Mhm.
I didn't
You're
see
right.
that.
But it just
I
totally
lost
surged.
my
It surged everything.
after that. What was it? The Strange Things.
Yeah,
Yep.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a record that came out 30 years ago or something. That's like.
Yeah. 35
Yeah, and that's
years
so
ago.
and that record sold anyway constantly, let alone
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It really didn't need any help.
no, now it got
selling
even
anything.
a crazy
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah.
there are certain records like Back in Black sells all the time. There's certain records that just sell every week, no matter what. There's new people buying. There's somebody who'd never heard Back in Black that heard it that just picked it up. Stairway to Heaven, or
You probably got Beatles,
or Beatles, and,
Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yep. I mean, do you guys ever notice
Black Album?
the Black Album? Yeah. If you guys ever notice, if you go into a record store back when they had more record stores, and if you would look at the Beatles stuff, you would never see the Beatles stuff on sale. Rarely, if you did, it was always that price.
Never. Yeah, always
you
full
paid
price. Yeah.
If the Beatles record was $13 at $12.99, that's what you paid. You never seen the Beatles like on the outlet of $6.99. You know what I mean, or nothing like that.
Which is weird, because when I was on Amazon last month, I picked up Abbey Road for $10.
Which is crazy. It must have
I know.
had some special. That's crazy.
How about this? Metallica has never released a greatest hits album.
No, the closest thing was probably that
they don't have to.
soundtrack. They don't have to.
They don't have to. Usually, they haven't either. That's right.
No,
Unless
the closest
you count
thing for them,
Garage Days.
Yeah, not counting that. Yeah, not counting that. But like if you had like AC/DC, besides a little compilation of like who made who, or the thing that they did for that fucking
box set,
what's the name movie?
Yeah.
No, what was that? Not Ultraman.
Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive was Who Made Who, but it was the other guy.
Yeah,
Iron Man. They put out like a little compilation for the Iron Man.
Yeah,
record
there's a few
too.
songs on that.
But they never, like bands that never came up with greatest hits records. You definitely have Metallica never came out with greatest hits. AC/DC never came out with greatest hits. And always, if you notice, most of the time when you buy a greatest hits record, they leave off at least one big song, because you don't get everything. They leave off that one big song.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, that could definitely be another topic for another day, so we could really spend some time on.
Yeah.
Special guest today, our buddy Ahmed Smith, Kiss and Aficionados. Aficionado. I can say it right. And also the only guy I know who bought the guitar Airstrings from Kiss. So got to give Ahmed credit on that.
I have to bring him on the show one time.
You got to bring him on the show.
That's funny.
Yeah. So mixtapes and tasty cakes. We'll see you guys next week.